were 2 days ago?
Well, actually, I was right outside of Birmingham, Alabama, and it was, every once in a while you run on these trips where you're super excited about it, and I'll tell you why. I got to meet with Don Shade, which is actually one of our partners, and he found an incredible deal in McCalla, Alabama, and we're actually trying to work out the numbers and things on that.
Wasn't it?
Huh?
Wasn't that Michael's deal?
Yes, it was Michael's deal. And as we're sitting right now, we're looking at $120,000 profit. So I'm so pumped. I'm so excited about that deal. And, for all of you on tonight, I actually want to give a shout out to Dennis and Dawn, Donna, Greg, Kimberly, Laura, Michael Lee, Ron, Sherry, William. So happy to have all of you guys on tonight. Hey, Dennis, thanks for saying hey to us.
All right, guys. And look, we say the same thing every Tuesday night. There's two reasons we do this. Number one, we want to help those of y'all that are kind of going at it yourself. Those that are building this business, that are sweating equity in, putting your own money into the deals. And we want to kind of give back to the real estate world because there's a lot of people that helped us. And we want to teach you everything we know to make sure that as you're building this business, that you are doing it correctly. You are doing it with the right techniques. You're doing it with the right strategies. You are aligning yourself correctly in your own marketplace. So for those of you that are doing this yourselves, again, we wish you the best of luck, and we want to help you as much as we can. But the other reason we're doing it, a much greater reason we're doing it, is that we feel like this business is really best built not in a vacuum. We feel this business is very difficult business to go at it alone. And look, guys, I don't say this kind of from a perspective of, well, I read a book and this is what it told me, or I got a buddy and this is what he said. I say this from a perspective of doing this for 20 years. I say this from a perspective of thousands of deals behind me. I say this from a perspective of still us doing deal upon deal upon deal. And I will tell you, the real way to build this business is by aligning yourself with the right people. It's not just by aligning yourself with the right techniques and the right strategies and the right marketplace and the right kind of properties. I mean, that's all well and good. But guys, think about this. Even at our level, thousands of deals behind us, Julie and a team, full-time closer on a team, full-time admin staff on a team. We still are looking to align ourselves with people like you guys. I mean, if anybody could go at it alone, it's us. I mean, we are equipped to go at it alone. But we know that we're stronger by partnering with people. And that's really the reason we do these. That's the real other main reason we do these Tuesday night calls is we want more of you all to become our partners across the United States. We want more of you all to kind of join this movement of partner-driven investing because we feel like we come to the table from our end as your potential partners. What do we bring to the end? We bring knowledge, we bring expertise, we bring experience, we bring 20 years in the thing, we bring people, we bring money, we bring resources. And what do our partners across the nation bring to the table? Everything else. You're the boots on the ground. You're the one putting the time and the sweat equity into this thing. Matter of fact, the deal that Julie and I, the reason I wanted to bring up that deal is I'm not even sure how, but tell us what our local partner did there, which I don't, we probably helped him somehow, but what did he do to secure that deal, Julie?
Well, the first thing he did is he followed the direction, follow the direction that we gave them. Because like you said, everything that we have our partners do are actually things that we do ourselves. So, for instance, he went driving for dollars, saw a vacant home, and he cold called them as well as sent a letter to that homeowner. So in this instance, the homeowner responded via the letter that we instructed Michael to send, right? So then Michael went out there and he met with the owner. He got it under contract. Obviously, I had the contract ready for Michael before he went onto this appointment. And let's fast forward a little bit. Now that we are, in the point of buying it, he has, found some local contractors. He's done a lot of that stuff. And one of the biggest things like today we were working on is I needed somebody to inspect the septic tank. I needed somebody, the water wasn't on at the house. I needed somebody to inspect the water situation, to make sure we get the water turned on so we can check all the plumbing and things like that. And beautifully enough, it all turned out wonderfully. I'm actually still waiting on the septic tank inspection report. But not only did we help people with these deals, but I need help from these local partners. We don't just do it all for them. I need their help to help me get these deals done, just like you do, Peter. So, instead of just doing it for somebody, I want them to put the hard, the equity, the sweat equity into the deal, because I want them to feel it just like we do. A lot of people, I get a lot of calls from people in this industry, that are just like Peter. And, I got calls today from some big players in the game wanting to know exactly how in the world are you guys doing what you're doing. They're wanting to know how we're, partnering with people across the nation. And my story is this, teamwork makes the dream work. From our end, we're not trying to just do everything for a partner. We want your help and we need your feedback, because you are the boots on the ground and you're our reliable source there. So I'm going to rely on you for your information, for your knowledge, for your referrals. And one big thing that I tell anybody that we're working with when we're doing a deal is this. Listen, when you're making decisions and you're making these phone calls, you have got to pretend like this money is your money. Now, if this was your money, if this was your $300,000, would you choose this person? How hard would you work for this deal? That's the conversations I'm having with these people. And I'm so blessed because there's a lot of trust involved in what we're doing. There's a lot of trust involved with our partners. And, it's my goal to build good relationships and to get them, to understand, our plan as far as the money goes. And nobody's going to learn this business until you're put in a position to where you're having to make the decisions and you're having to learn. We are not going to do everything for you, but we are going to set you up, give you the knowledge, give you the money, give you our experience so that we don't make bad mistakes. And yes, Michael, thank you so much for saying that. Teamwork definitely does make the dream work. One thing about Michael, and he's not on tonight because in all honesty, I've got him a bunch of things to do tonight. He drives a concrete truck and he's got his full-time job to deal with. So when he got off work tonight, he's got a list of things to do. That's just the way that it is. And that's how that deal is working out. That's about as much as I can say about that deal right now, but I cannot wait to get this job accomplished. Actually, strangely enough, the senator of Alabama built this house that we're fixing to buy. So we are actually renovating an ex-senator of Alabama. I just think that's really cool.
And that right there, what Julie described, is what our partner-driven coaching program is all about. Our local partners doing what they got to do to put deals together with our help. We help them with the marketing. We help them with some of the negotiations. We help them find the properties. They use all our money to buy it, all our money to fix it. We help them with the rehab costs. As a matter of fact, Julie, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, but Brian, your husband, probably will be supervising to some extent this project. That's not even in our state. So we get very involved from our side of helping people put the deals together. And then we sell them and then we split the profits. And a deal like that right now, we're looking to make, how much did you say, Julie, about?
Probably about 120,000, you know, and honestly, this is not a normal deal. This is a very, very, very large rehab that, you know, maybe a lot of times I would have chosen not to do this deal. But after meeting Michael and after meeting Nikki, I mean, I just want this for them. I want this for them so bad. The numbers work. I'm very, very confident that we can get this job done. That's why, you know, I even, like you talked about with my husband, Brian, I even, you know, I want it so bad for Michael, you know, he's even willing to go help get this job done. Carl, Happy New Year to you. And it's just right below you. I know you're in Huntsville, Alabama. This is in Ocala, right outside of Birmingham, by the way. But I just want this deal so bad for them. And I know it's going to change their lives. And, you know, they've got it. You know how you just meet people and you know they've got it? I know he's got it. So we're super, super, super excited. And, you know, that's something we don't talk about a lot with our partner-driven, you know, program. But, you know, Peter and I have done a bunch of, you know, we could talk about accolades all day long. But, you know, at this point in our career, it means a lot to me, and I know it does Peter, whenever someone like that, you know that this one deal is going to change their lives. And the day that closing happens, the day that he gets the check, the day that I know the rehab's going to go well, and we sell it and everything goes good, it's that life-changing moment is why I do what I do. And I know for sure it's what Peter does, what he does, because him and I have conversations about each and every one of everybody that we work with. What would you say, 3 times a week? We go over everybody, everything they're doing, because, I mean, yes, obviously we're in this business to make money, but, I mean, we love to help people. We love to see it change their lives as it's changed our lives. I mean, some of y'all that don't know me, and some of y'all that do know me know that without this business, I would not be where I am today. So I believe in it wholeheartedly, you know, to the point to where I want to push it on other people because I want them to get to where, you know, we are, Peter.
You know, it's interesting we're talking about this, but I don't know if people could see this. Can you see that, Julie? Right.
Barely, yeah.
Okay, well, this is I just got a text from our closer. Another deal we just closed with one of our partners on Vassar Avenue, and if you can't see it, we just got wired $105,798,000. And guys, this is what our partner-driven coaching program is all about. We do deals, and we want to do more deals. As you all listen to us here for the next couple of minutes, talk about what we're going to talk about tonight, I want you all to know if you're ready, if you're serious, if you're committed, if you're ready to take it to the next level, if you're ready to invest your time, your effort, your energy, some of your money to bring us on board, then we want you to be part of our partner program. And anytime today, all you have to do is go to our link at www.coachingbypeter.com. It talks a little bit more about our partnering program. Fill out the form. We'll get it here. We'll call you. But if you're ready to make 2019 this kind of year where we're doing deals that we're getting wires in on the sales side for over $100,000, and hopefully with Michael in the next several months, we'll have the same thing, then you need to be part of our partnering program across the nation. So, Julie, what's our topic today? We're going to talk about finding deals, right?
Yes. So we talked about, you know, making mistakes and how to get over making mistakes this year. And and this is my opinion, guys, and I'm just going to be brutally honest with you. If your goal is to study, if your goal is to learn more about this business, I want you to do that. But your number one goal needs to be finding deals. If that is not on the top of your list, then you are absolutely wasting your time. When I start working with someone new, that's the first thing that I tell them. I'm not going to waste your time with fluff information. I want to spend my time with you finding deals. As you find deals and as we work on finding deals together, you're going to learn everything, right? But if you're not out there progressively learning how to find deals, beating doors down, making phone calls, you're not going to get anywhere. So if I can say anything about avoiding mistakes in 2019, is stop listening to all these videos about all this learning. Stop it and start taking action. Without action, you are never, ever, ever going to get anywhere. And I can tell you, all your action needs to be locating deals. And some of you may not agree with me here, but you should not be looking for other people to find deals for you. I do not look for deals with other wholesalers. I do not look for deals on the MLS. I'm not saying you cannot find great deals there, but if you learn how to find deals direct to seller, you will never need anybody else the rest of your life in this business. When you learn the skill set to be able to reach out to sellers directly and put houses under contract yourself, you control your marketplace, okay? I actually find it a bit lazy to look at wholesalers' deals, okay? And I know that's a little bit ugly to say, but if you take that same energy and work after going directly with homeowners, you are controlling the deal from start to finish so that you can choose to wholesale it. You can choose to buy, fix, and sell it. And for those of you that have capital of your own, you can choose to buy it and rent it out and have long-term wealth, okay? So also another point I want to bring up. As the market shifts, obviously this market is cyclical. It goes up and down, up and down. Right now the market is high. So people are finding deals on MLS. They're finding deals from other wholesalers, and they're buying, fixing, and selling properties, right? When the market goes down, you're going to have a hard time finding deals from those lead sources. So you are not going to be good in this business. When you learn how to find deals direct to seller when the market's down, you are able to capitalize on wholesale deals, because hopefully you guys will all agree, no matter the market, there are plenty of people out there with money. So when the market does go down, when you have that ability to find these deals, you're going to be able to make money no matter what the economy is at that point in time. So the one thing I can tell you to avoid pitfalls this year is make sure your mindset is focused on sellers, being able to talk directly to sellers, being able to go on appointments. I feel that's the best thing somebody could do this year. Don't you agree, Peter?
There's no question. One of the things I always talk about this business is this business lends itself to activity. I mean, you could literally spend 24/7 doing things in this business in different aspects. And one of those is an acquisition side, which is what we want to talk to you guys about today. The acquisitions is really what makes real estate work. And in this business, you could literally tie up 100% of your time looking for deals from the wrong sources. See, Julie's kind of opinion is, look, we're in a good market and it's possible to find some stuff. I'm going to tell you right now, in my opinion, I'm a little bit more extreme than that. I think at any level in this business right now, at least into the foreseen future, my opinion, it is almost impossible to find deals from realtors. It is almost impossible to find deals from wholesalers. Anytime you have an intermediary involved, it's no longer a deal. But because there's so many intermediaries in this business, I see people all the time spinning their wheels. Hey, Pete, I got 20 realtors looking for deals for me. Well, the problem is there are no deals on MLS. And so you can have 100 realtors looking for deals for you. And guess what? Those 100 realtors can keep you very, very busy. And so people sometimes confuse busyness with actual productivity. And in reality, busyness have nothing to do with productivity, okay? In the market we're in today, I strongly feel that if you're working with intermediaries, you're doing exactly what Julie said. You're kind of taking the easy way out. Wow, every city, you look at where we're from, Atlanta, look at any city. I mean, here in Atlanta, we probably have dozens. Like when I say dozens, I mean dozens of wholesalers. And, you look at every wholesaler, he has 1 to 3 to 4 deals a month. So realistically, I could spend the next 30 days in Atlanta looking at 60, 80 deals, which guess what? Will keep me 100% occupied. But I can tell you ahead of time, none of them are deals. So there's people out there that confuse work, hard work, with potential results and actually making money. Real estate agents, the exact same thing. And so my philosophy after doing this for 20 years is that anytime you have an intermediary involved, they suck all the profit out. They really do. I mean, think about it. If you have a real estate agent involved, what real estate agent in their right mind would tell their seller, let's leave $20,000 on the table? That's not what their job is. As a matter of fact, that's like almost against their fiduciary responsibility to the seller. A realtor could almost get in trouble telling they will get in trouble if they purposely tell their seller to underprice their property by $30,000 or $40,000. So no realtor in their right mind is going to tell their seller, hey, let's leave $40,000 on the table. It doesn't happen. You look at most wholesalers. Well, why would a wholesaler who's wholesaling a deal to someone else leave a bunch of money on a table? Now, every once in a while, I know they want to get in and want to get out, but no, a good wholesaler like us, we're going to suck all the profit out. We'll leave enough for the deal to look potentially good, but the reality is we know what the numbers are, and so a real estate agent is going to suck the profit out. A wholesaler is going to suck the profit out anytime you have intermediaries involved. So how do you alleviate all that? The only way to alleviate is to not work with people like that. So then there's only one place to work, which is directly working with owners. It's what we've been doing for years on end. Matter of fact, I was just thinking before we started talking, and I'm sure it's happened, but I was just trying to think, what was the last time I bought a house? Now think about this. If anybody could buy a house from a real estate agent, it's me. I mean, 20-year history, ability to close, credentials. I mean, if anybody, realtors bring us deals every day because we have the ability to close. I haven't bought a deal from a real estate agent in years. So why would you think if you jump into this business today that a real estate agent would realistically bring you a deal? If they really had a deal, they're going to bring it to someone like us in your marketplace, someone that's tried, true, done deal, kind of make a call, get to closing table. All right. Wholesalers, again, we know how to price our properties to suck it out. So you have to have, and I know we're saying the same thing over and over. We're trying to get our point across. You've got to know how to battle. I call it hand-to-hand combat. And the hand-to-hand combat is really done at the owner level. You have to go directly to owners. So today we want to talk to you about a couple quick ways just to kind of reiterate how we go to owners all the time. Remember, guys, it's not like we know something you don't know. We just do it better than most people do it. There are no new techniques. The techniques when it comes to marketing, they're the same. You got your signs, you got your direct mails, you got your web-based techniques, you got your potential referral techniques. I mean, the techniques never change. It's how do you correctly implement them? So Julie, maybe you and I can kind of go back and forth. Let me kind of start with in my opinion, one of the best and one of the easiest and also one of the most cost-effective ways to find sellers out there. And this is really what I did for years on end when I got started in this business. And that's signs. That's bandit signs. I feel like if you're starting out in this business, you have to have a bunch of signage out there. Now, the good thing in real estate is that let's say I own a traditional business. Let's say I own a McDonald's. Let's say I owned a grocery store. You're not going to see too many bandit signs on the side of the road advertising Kroger's, right? You're not going to see like too many signs when you're pulling off the highway that says, hey, come to our McDonald's. The traditional businesses, they have to spend a lot of money on their signage. Their signages are billboards and stuff like that. But in real estate, I mean, you go to inner city Atlanta and you pull off any exit, and guess what you're going to see? You're going to see signage right in the exits for real estate. So the cool thing is we're on one of those businesses where signage is allowed, and it tends to be something that all of us could do. Most people can't afford a $10,000 a month a billboard. Now ask me how I know that, because that's what we used to spend on billboards, and I can tell you those things just don't work. But anybody can go to Walmart, buy a correlated sign, put "We Buy Houses" on it, and put it on the side of a highway. And those are called bandit signs. And I could tell you for the first 3 years in the business, that's all I used to do. I mean, I used to literally get in my car, and I used to do it at nights, so the signs would stay up as late as possible. I get in my hot car, I drive around, I go to inner city, because usually these signs are not what we call in kind of middle to upper class, because really those people don't want to see this kind of signs. But, into your lower class areas or a little bit rougher areas, they're littered with them. And so I used to get in my car around 9 or 10 at night, and I used to drive around Atlanta like there's a loop here called 285. And I'd get in my car around 10 or 11, drive in the city. I'd be there by like around 11 or 12. And like till about 2 or 3 in the morning, that's all I did. I would just get off at every exit. I'd put a sign up. I'd get off at the next exit. I'd put a sign up. I'd get off at the next exit. I'd put a sign up. And it is shockingly amazing how many calls these signs generate. And my signs were very basic. It's the same signs I think you need to have. Remember, people are getting off the exit. They're not there to read a story. They don't want to hear something. They just wanted something that, for 1 second you look at it and you're like, oh, got it, understand it. And so my signs were always very simple. We buy house, all cash, any conditions, phone number. And literally for 3 years straight, every Friday night, I would take the whole night. I usually wouldn't get back till about 4 or 5 in the morning. And I would literally tweet inner city with these signs. Now, the reason I did it Friday nights is because, and this kind of works the same way across the nation, is that these signs tend to be taken down by code enforcement. Like I said, if you do it like in an upper neighborhood, it's going to be taken down immediately. You do it in the inner city, chances are it'll stay up for 3, 4, 5 days. But the code enforcement doesn't work on weekends. So what I did is I'd get in the car late Friday night, and I knew at least I had Saturday and Sunday where those signs would never be touched. Usually by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week, they'd be down. I'd be right back up the next week. And I could tell you, I bought hundreds and hundreds of properties. So a lot of times when people hear me talk about signs, I talk about how I started in this business. So people correlate, okay, so if I'm starting out, I got to do signs. But Pete, I've already done 6 deals. Well, guess what? To this day, we corporately believe in signage. Matter of fact, Julie and I are both not above getting signs out. We want to put out signs.
Hey, that deal in Maryville that we're doing came from a sign.
Oh, I didn't even know that. So tell that story.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but remember the deal with Miss Barbara in Maryville? Well, like a year ago, Peter and I, strangely enough, got in my truck and we just had we wanted to talk all day and have some meetings. And Peter suggested to me, well, hey, let's go put out some bandit signs, while we're talking. And Peter actually put this sign out on the side of the road, and we got a call, like a year ago from it? And we just closed on Barbara's house. Was it the end of November, but she didn't move out to the middle of December. Now, not only did we get a call from this sign, it just took us 8 months to 10 months to get the deal closed because she wasn't ready yet. But and please don't take this wrong, Peter, But even Peter Vexelman was willing to get out of the car and put out bandit signs. And we're going to make $70,000 or $80,000 off of that deal. Peter, would you go throw out a bandit sign again to make that kind of money?
All day long, guys. Remember, from our perspective, just our model has changed a little bit in how we're finding our deals. But for those of you that are out there listening to us from all over the nation here, and I could see we have tons and tons of participants tonight, get signs. I mean, they work. You know, it's always amazing to me where people say, well, gosh, Pete, in my area, like sign doesn't work as well. No, I get it. You kind of got to do it all. When it comes to marketing, you got to do it all. And what you do then is you focus on the things that work a little bit better, but continue to do it all. And I could tell you, bandit signs, if I was starting out today, I had a limited budget, maybe a couple $100 that I could put towards marketing. There is no question in my mind that I would put it towards signs. I'd be diligent with it. I may have to actually, what I did a lot of times when I was really broke, 20 or some years ago, and I couldn't afford to lose, like back then with like a couple $100 was a lot of money to me. I would put them out Friday, and then Sunday night, I do the same route again. I'd hit the highways around 11 or 12 at night, and I'd drive around. I'd pick my signs up because I knew they'd be gone the next week, and I couldn't afford every week to be spending $200, $300, $400 a month in marketing. So like every night, every Friday night and every Sunday night, I really didn't sleep. Sometimes I'd pull over to the side of the road, slept in my car. I'd put them out Friday night. I'd pick them up Sunday, and the next Friday I'd do it again. And I could tell you, I did tons and tons and tons of deals, because guess who's getting off the exits? It's homeowners. And like anything else, when it comes to marketing, it's all about timing. So you got somebody pulling off the highway that might have gotten themselves a little bit trouble in their property, maybe falling behind in the mortgage, maybe hit hard times, maybe they got to move, a million reasons. And all of a sudden they look over and they're like, hey, I buy houses. And, to us, signs are like, well, common sense. A seller of a house, it's not common sense. They never even paid attention to it. All of a sudden, at the right time, at the right place, they see the sign. It's like advertising. I bet none of you remember the ads you saw today. As a matter of fact, I bet the last ad you remember is the one that hit home with you, right? Every ad goes in one ear, out the other, right through your head, except the ad that has some relevancy to you. And so the reason I personally love bandit signs is that, you get traffic. Usually 100 people drive by it. They don't do anything, but that one person drives by, and all of a sudden it's got relevancy to them, and they're calling you. That's the other thing I love about signs, that it's immediate contact. In so many other marketing techniques and strategies we use, they're not immediate contacts. It's like sometimes you could, hear an ad about a travel agency. Well, okay, you maybe make a note of it, and sometime in the future you're going to go on a cruise, and you write down, and then you maybe file it away, and you never see it again. When it comes to bandit signs, no one's ever going to call you off a bandit sign saying, well, I think I'm going to sell my house 4 years from now. Nuh-uh. Every call you get off a sign is immediate. Hey, I'm looking to sell now. So one of my favorite reasons that I love signs so much is you get relevant calls. All right, we spent a ton of things on signs. Julie, what do you like?
I'll tell you, if just like you said in the beginning, if I had a limited budget or not a limited budget, I tell you, I really strive on driving for dollars. Okay. And let me just start out by saying this. And guys, look, when I say these things, I really hope not to hurt your feelings when I say them, but nothing replaces hard work. Okay. So my favorite thing is driving for dollars. And many of you wonder, why do you like driving for dollars so much? It's simply this, because I've made a ton of money doing it. and I'm very, very good at it. So Let me give you an example of driving for dollars. As you're driving around in your daily life, or you're on purpose trying to do it, you are actually physically with your eyes looking for opportunities. Maybe opportunities that you would not, you're looking for opportunities of homes that are either vacant, or need work. So some things I'm looking for is maybe some rundown cars, trash in the yard, sheets in the windows instead of blinds. That's a dead giveaway to me that that's a rental house. Maybe the eaves and overhangs need to be replaced. A lot of different things. When I see these homes, I actually bring those back and I skip trace these. And what do I mean by skip trace? I want to know who the owner is, what their mailing address is, and I want to find their cell phone numbers. Because not only do I want to call these individuals, but I want to send them a letter. Now, talking about hard work, I'm going to take it to the next level. If I've taken the time to go drive by that house, look up the numbers, create the list, I'm also going to handwrite an envelope. I mean, at this point, honestly, I don't physically handwrite envelopes anymore, but my daughter does for me. So I want to know that I have the biggest opportunity to talk to that seller. So yes, I'm going to send a handwritten envelope with a letter inside. Because think about this, guys. If you get a letter in the mail and it's a hand-addressed envelope, what's your chances of opening it? Probably about 95%. Because you're thinking maybe one of your aunts or something that's older sent you a letter. Because, I mean, who in the world else sends handwritten envelopes to you? So I'm definitely going to do that. And then I'm going to make a call, okay? And I'm actually, this is a gem here. I'm going to actually tell you my conversation that I'm going to have with a seller whenever I call these people, okay? So I'm going to tell you how I've done so well making these calls. Always, because I skip trace them, I know the owner's name. Obviously, I know the address. It's going to go like this. John, hey, it's Julie. How are you doing today? Oh, good, good. Well, the other day, I was driving down Main Street, and I saw this property that I believe that you own at 123 Main Street. Is that correct? Oh, yeah. Well, the reason for my call is that I buy, fix, and sell houses, and I buy and rent them out. And when I saw your house, I just knew that I had to get in touch with you because it is exactly what I'm looking for. And I was just wondering if there was any way whatsoever that I could come out there and make you an offer for your property. Okay? So for a lot of you, you're thinking, well, that's simple enough. It is. It's that simple. I never call people and say, hi, I'm Julie with 123 Investment Company. I'm just regular old Julie that buys some houses. I never use the term real estate investor. I always try to be on somebody's level. Well, to be quite honest, I grew up on that level, so I'm still on that level. You know, I like to call it blue collar people. When I'm searching for areas, I want to pretend like this. If I'm a mechanic, a good, hard-working mechanic, where am I going to live? I want you to think about that as you guys are working on your areas. That's exactly what I'm going to focus on. And I know if I call somebody like that, they're hearing my empathy. They're hearing that I'm excited about their property, so that I know that they're going to want to meet me, okay? That call right there, that call script right there has made me millions of dollars. Millions of dollars, just that one call script alone on deals. So nobody can tell me that that particular strategy does not work. Let me give you an example, and I want you to look at this another way. I want all of you out there to think of I love classic cars. I'm just a country girl. I just like that sort of thing. And actually, strangely enough, my dad was a mechanic growing up, and we used to, flip cars. So I want you to think of this. Think of a car, and for those of you that work with me, I've went through this exercise with you before, so let's just do it again. I want you to think of a classic car that you've ever wanted. Maybe when you were growing up, you had a 69 Mustang with a big motor in it. You know, maybe it was a Chevy Chevelle. Maybe it was something like that. I want all of you right now to think of a classic car you would buy right now. Give you a second. Okay, now I want you to imagine it. Now you've got the car that you want. I want you to imagine you have disposable income to buy a vehicle like this. Because remember, you've wanted this your whole life. You wanted it in your garage. You had it when you were a teenager. You knew the way that it made you feel. Well, you know, you're driving down the road and you look over in somebody's driveway, and guess what? That 69 Mustang sitting out there in the yard. Okay, it needs work. It needs a paint job. You can already tell it needs Bondo. It needs some work on this car. But you've got the money, and you know that you can get it restored, and it can be your dream car. I want you to think of this. You have the money in your pocket. You found your dream car. What would you do to try to buy that car off that person? Now, it's not for sale. It's just sitting in their yard. What would you do? I'm going to answer it for you. You would knock on the door. You would send them a letter. And you would give them a phone call to try to buy that car. That same mentality about that car is the same mentality that you need to have when you're calling these sellers. Because guess what? When you partner with Peter and I, guess what? You do have a pocket full of money, right? This is exactly what you're looking for, because this business is here to change your life. If you have that mindset when you're making these calls, you will be so uberly successful, it's not even funny. And for those of you getting started, I don't know, for me, when I first started making these calls, Peter, I found it easier for me to think of it like a car instead of houses, because houses seem to be at this level and not at this level. So, but I treat the conversations the same. I want to compliment the person. Oh, wow, I've wanted this house my entire life. It's exactly what I'm looking for, and I just love it. Sellers aren't going to be upset with you. They're actually going to be very flattered with you. So that's my advice to you. Whenever you are making cold calls for driving for dollars, and you would not believe the amount of success that you will receive if you take my advice. I learned it the hard way. I've made thousands upon thousands of calls. And calling that way literally generates me a deal every time I sit down and make 3 or 4 hours of phone calls, every time. Actually, when I was in California about a month ago, drove to California 4 days, I picked up 2 deals. I don't say that to brag on myself, but I was willing to put the hard work in to go do the driving. I was willing to put the hard work in to make the calls. And in the end, it put me into a place to where I was successfully closing a deal. And actually, we just closed on that deal last Friday, I believe, last Thursday or Friday.
I will tell you, you all need to, because we put sometimes these recordings on Facebook, and I hope we're going to do this one. What Julie talked about in the last couple minutes about your attitude, how you would be with driving by and seeing a car that you like, and you're like, wow, I can't believe I'm seeing it. You contacting that person, you need to listen to that, because I'm probably over most of your guys' head, but that is so powerful, because that's exactly what this business is. You identify a deal, and if you happen to be working with us, you know you have the money to buy the deal. And it's no different than calling in a car that you know you have the money in your pocket for and saying, wow, I just drove by, I saw this car, I'm in love with the car. Man, that was powerful. You all need to rewind this and you need to listen to it until one time. Hopefully it hit you right away. If it didn't, listen to it a couple of times and it'll hit you. And I think this is kind of a good segue, Julie, into kind of start bringing this to a close. Because that's what partnering with us is about. It is having literally money in your pocket, utilizing our marketing techniques, utilizing our strategies, in going out to your going out to your own marketplace, and literally shooting ducks in a barrel. Because the hardest thing about this business is it's for most investors, it's the confidence to know they can get a deal done. I hear that. I know that. A lot of y'all are out there and you're doing what needs to be done, but in the back of your mind, it's like a dirty secret you have. Man, even if this thing works out for me, what am I going to do? Like when somebody says yes, I can't buy it. I can't qualify for financing. If I can't qualify for financing, I don't have the $20,000 or $30,000 to buy it. I don't have the cash to buy it. So a lot of y'all are literally self-sabotaging yourself in this business. It's like, the techniques and strategies. Some of y'all are listening to us, you're like, well, yeah, I'm doing that. But what you're not realizing is, or what you are realizing is, you just don't want to admit it. It's almost like you're afraid of making this thing work. Because you know that if this thing does work, then you got to really step up. It's kind of like you kind of trick your way into an NBA team. Maybe not that level, but you trick your way to a high-level basketball team, and you kind of talk your way onto it, and the coach says, okay, now it's time to hit the court. And you're like, I'm not good enough to hit the court. And so the hard part about this business is that no matter how much we teach you, no matter how much we educate you, and no matter how well you execute some of the things we do, a lot of y'all know in the back of your mind, you don't have what it takes to do this business. And when I say that, I don't mean like strategically, I mean like financially. You can get a deal done in today's marketplace unless you have tens of thousands of dollars. I don't care what you're telling you. I don't care what website you go to that they say they're going to finance it. It doesn't happen. You buy $100,000 property, you better have $100,000 or you better have $30,000. So a lot of y'all literally get into this mode where you're literally self-sabotaging yourself. You're like, well, I'm doing what they say, but you're not really doing it because you really don't want to make it happen, because you know that if somebody finally says yes, it's like they're going to expose you. They're going to expose you. I know it's a little bit hard, but they're going to expose you a little bit for being a fraud. Because you cannot get that deal done. And guys, this is why we do what we do. We partner with people all over the United States. And when we partner with you guys, we fill in that gap. We fill in that gap of you having the ultimate confidence of going out to the marketplace, doing what we have to do, doing what we teach you to do. Those confidence that when somebody says yes, you can then say, great, you could feel 100% assured that we'll be at the closing table. And that's what we do with our partners. Now, we do a lot more than that with our partners. We don't just bring money to the table. We actually market for you. We look up things for you, like pre-foreclosures. We trace for you. And all that costs money, by the way. That's on us. That's on us. We're paying for that right from our offices. We do give you the money to buy it. We 100% of it. So if you become a partner of ours, you have to even spend $1. You have to spend $1 on the utility bill, on the construction, on the purchase, none of it. We then actively help you fix it. Like Julie started talking about here an hour ago or so. She literally went to one of our partners' properties just a day or two ago in Alabama. So we get involved in the construction. And guess what? On that particular property, it's got a $100,000 construction budget. Guess what? We are going to be involved helping our local partner fix that property, because we know we have 20 years and we can get that job done better than the local partner. The local partner will contribute. They'll be the boots on the ground, but we're going to make sure it's done the right way. And then when we sell it, we split the profit. Simple as that. And if that process just made sense to you, like, wow, they're going to help me find it. They're going to be giving me the money to buy it. They're going to give me 100% of the money to fix it. They're going to help fix it. And then they're going to help me sell it. And we split the profits. And if to you that resonates, then you need to be part of our partner-driven coaching program. Because that's exactly what we do with partners literally over the United States. And we can tell you story upon story. Today, you know, I shared a thing I got from our closer for $105,000 we made today. Julie shared about a property that we're going to be making over $100,000. And we could tell you success story, success story, success story, because that's what we do. And we feel confident enough in telling you there's no one else in the country that'll give you that offer. I don't say that in jest. If you don't believe me, go check it out. Go find somebody that's going to do exactly what I just said. There isn't anyone out there. I know it because I know all the guys out there doing this. I know all the gurus. I know the educators. I know them. There's no one in the country that does what we do. So if you want to learn how you can become one of our partners, either go to our website at www.coachingbypeter.com. That's www.coachingbypeter.com. Or you can actually get a hold of me directly at area code 404-915-9685. We do want you to be willing to put the time in, the effort in. We want you to be willing to invest into yourself. We want you to be driven. We want you to be at the point where you're like, this is the business I want to do. And I can tell you, we got the best deal going out there in a country. And we want more partners because we want to do more deals. You know, people say, well, why do you want to do this? Because we want to do more deals. It's a little bit selfish, but it helps us too because we are real estate investors and we only make money when we close. So again, if you want to learn more about how you become one of our partners anywhere in the United States, and we have partners all the way from the East Coast, we have partners in New Jersey. I guess that's about as East Coast as it gets, all the way through the South. We have partners in Florida, all the way to Texas. We have partners up north. We have partners in Michigan. We have partners in Illinois. We have partners in Ohio, all the way to the West Coast. We have partners currently in Washington State, all the way to California. So we do this anywhere. And if you want to learn and if you want to become one of our partners, again, either go to our website at www.coachingbypeter.com or you can call me directly at area code 404-915-9685. So that's all I got, Julie. Anything else from your end?
Well, the only thing I want to say, because I know we have a lot of our partners on this evening, I want to say that I cannot wait to see you guys on Saturday for our live event. I cannot wait to meet you, and I know you guys are going to learn so much. And, you know, selfishly, I just really can't wait to meet you guys. And hey, Donna, I know you're new. It was so good to talk to you today, Miss Donna, and as well as Miss Kimberly Brown. Thank you guys for being a part of it. And hey, selfishly, us girls are going to kill it over there in your market.
That's right, guys. And Saturday night, I'm glad you brought this up.
That's all I have.
Saturday night, we're going to be right here. This is part of the lake house. We're going to hang out here. We're going to have a little get-together here. We're going to have some drinks. We're going to have maybe smoke some cigars for those that like cigars. We're going to hang out, and we're going to build great relationships. So, yes, as I look back, look at our participants, I can see a lot of y'all are going to be here. Guys, if you have not registered yet, you need to go to coachingbypeter.com/live, sign up, be here. If you're already one of our partners, it's the weekends on us. If you're not yet one of our partners, you just pay a $500 fee to be here, but it's going to be awesome. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
See ya.